Are you lonely? Are you searching for purpose? And are you in need of a close-knit group of friends? What if I told you I had the solution to all your problems? Joining a cult. Because today, that's what we're gonna do. Welcome to Total Warhammer 3, where in this video I've installed a mod adding cultists, cults, rituals of absolute power, and space marines. While playing as Kairos the Fate Weaver, our goal is to hunt down an obese man and unite the world under the prosperous banner of a cult, possibly involving casting infinite spells, training chaos space marines, and just generally worshipping Tzeentch by being a douche. But first, a word from the sponsor of this video, Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus, the mobile game that captures the spirit of obliterate everything that moves. A game with turn-based combat where you can play against or with other players on PvE campaigns, and most importantly, you can actually control your champions. Tacticus is turning 3 years old as of August 15th, and what better way to celebrate than by adding the Emperor's children. No, they're not actually children, but are most well known for being as kind and gentle as a dog named Princess. Their leader is Lucius the Eternal. Lucius because he's very evil, and Eternal because every time someone kills him, he pulls out a real-life Uno reverse card. Either click the link in the description, or enter the code JULYHELLO for 50 Blackstones and 20 energy. Thank you again to Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus for sponsoring this video, and now, let's start a cult. So welcome back to Total Warhammer 3, and today we're going to be using a whole bunch of mods, but particularly one that adds cultists to all the Chaos factions. And some of those cultists are very, very silly. Specifically the ones of the Tzeentch faction, which is who we're going to be using. Ever since that video I did a while back with the Skaven using warp blimps, I've started really enjoying a lot of the mods on the Total Warhammer 3 workshop because some of them are insanely good. I never realized how big the modding community was. So we're gonna start all the ways in the south of the map, and the units that we get to recruit are, if I go over to here, these basic cultists. Now they are super bad. They are honestly embarrassingly bad, but that's okay because further up in the tech tree, we get access to cult rituals, which affect all cultists on the map, and some of them get ridiculously silly. And as you can see, some of our upgrades are very good at adding spells to our cultists. I'm also just gonna quickly auto-resolve the first two battles, because there's no real need to fight these. The mod also includes these mutant mobs, which have random modifiers, and I think they spawn chaos spawn when they die. So we're gonna see how those guys work out. I added a couple of mods. One of them may or may not add, like, space marines, but we'll get to that later. All right, I've cleared through the province, and now we can start recruiting cultists. They are pretty cheap and very numerous. Also, for some reason, and I assume this is like a category kind of thing, but they are classified as goblin infantry or cultists. I don't know why those two things are combined, but it seems very Tzeentchian that these guys might just actually be goblins in disguise. We can also start recruiting these warrior cultists, whom I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce that name, but they have an insane amount of upkeep, so they are really expensive. I am rocking enough mods such that I'm getting a little concerned. You see, this is normal, and then I go over to this, and that could be bad. But honestly, crashing my game with mod conflicts is a pretty Tzeentchy thing to do. While we're building up all of our other stuff, though, of course, the Slanesh faction is next up on the docket, and I should be able to use my ritual right in here. There we go. Get a bunch more Grimoires so that we can mess with the entire world a little bit better, and then try sieging this down. And this is actually a pretty scary set of units. They are going to attack out at us, but I think we can handle this with our army of fairly mediocre cultists. As you can see, these guys aren't exactly strong looking. They're basically just normal people with spears. So normal people in this universe. The mutants are basically the same thing, just cultists, except extremely mutated, and they have some minor stat bonuses, and I'm just gonna throw them in there so they die instantly and turn into chaos spawn. I am deploying all my guys in the corner, though, because there is no way I can beat them in a completely fair fight. So we are instead just gonna sit here and probably just try and use Kairos' spells to absolutely destroy most of them. All right, here they come. Our cultists are gonna have to hold the line. They've got not great leadership, but hopefully our guys who can turn into Chaos Spawn are going to be pretty decent. Overcast Flock of Doom should deal a metric ton of damage, and then repeatedly just Arcane Surging to try and get back Winds of Magic. Right now, we're going to be limited by magic, but as soon as we start getting the cultist rituals up, we are going to be able to do pretty much anything as far as spell casting is concerned. Oh, come on, another Flock of Doom. That should do so much damage. And a Thunderbolt. The front line is starting to break, and I am hoping hoping that if we gather up a lot of our guys into one little area, we'll be okay. Wind blast, please. Fingers crossed that does a ton of damage. Okay, I was not expecting that much. I am shocked that it is this close. I just need to keep casting Flock of Dooms in this one big area, and we have attritioned down so many. This one group of cultists here are completely unbreakable, so they're not going anywhere. Exalted Flavor, please. I love you. Oh my god, I think we are actually doing this. Is anything else gonna rally? Probably not. Now, all of our cultists ran away at the drop of a hat. Okay, well, it's been pretty difficult, but I think I've got my way to win, and it involves just running away constantly, waiting for my mana to regen, and then casting a whole bunch of spells on these guys. If it works, it works. Oh, yes! I think that fireball just made this possible. And their leader is now degrading. Holy crap, we are actually gonna beat this. And one more fireball. That almost hit Kairos. That would have been run ending. Come on, Kairos, I believe in you. Yes! We may have lost most, if not all, of our advanced units. Yes, we lost all of our advanced units. 644 kills from Kairos. 8,000 gold value damage. But what it really means is that we've rid ourselves of all of those weak, pathetic demon units, and now we have the amazing unit rank 1 cultist. I definitely need to recruit a second lord, and Hexus, Vorp Shot. Yeah, no, that's crap. Joe, respectable cult. Can't fit man. Cult man. He's just an honest, hardworking cult guy. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, hey, what's going on with Zeech's eyeball there? It's switching between the two chariots, but it can't decide which one. Finally, after grinding down 3 of the same battle and just running in circles and fireballing like 100 times, that's the settlement gotten. Me, myself, and I. Those of your followers lucid enough to care. That's a nice way to start something. Most of my people are simply not caring that they have been multiplied in 2. Plus 200 growth. All right, one last fight, and then we will be able to take the whole peninsula, which once again means Kairos flying over top of them, casting about 100 spells, and probably killing everyone. My cultists may not be the strongest units. Anyway, all right, I don't know what happened, but my cultists are kind of destroying the Slaneshi infantry. It might be the spell casting, but it's also the fact that I think they have like a huge shield regeneration buff. Yeah, 10% damage resist, immune to contact effects in, how big is the area? That is a massive area. Surprisingly, not terrible casualties taken, and there is the entire peninsula captured. And that also gives us the money to start getting the Cult of Lies, so we can get the Broken Wheel cultists. So I know Oxalotl spawns over here, and he's definitely gonna make his way over, so I am going to go to the changing of the ways, borrow time, reset the movement of my leader, and then immediately have him start booking it all the ways back. Yeah, there is Oxalotl right next to us. I hope we can get back in time. I think we should be able to, but just in case, I've also decided to start recruiting some other guys here. Okay, that is unfortunate and also not surprising. Wait, I can just auto-resolve this? Holy crap, yeah, I can just kill the whole army. Okay, I recruited a bunch of regiments of renown, and I think that sent it over. So, thanks. I'm just imagining Oxalotl, like, headbutting into Fate Weaver's crevasse until he dies. He's like, the walls will break this time, guys. I just need to headbutt it 30 more times. And we get a free Cultist of Tzeentch. That's not too bad. Of course, I'm not sure how we're paying him because we are losing money. Okay, now what I'm about to do might not be economically sound, but I am going to bankrupt myself by spending $3,000 on these cultists, and they have 900 upkeep. That might sound high, but it is very, very high, yes. But it's worth it. You know the game is taking pity on you when it gives you a mission to just have an income of 200. All right, we found a good army from the Lizardmen, and now I am going to show what these rituals do by going into a fight. There's another army over there, but honestly, it shouldn't really be a huge problem. I think we'll be okay. Got a quick save just in case. So these are our mega cultists, and there's not that many of them. They actually don't have a whole lot of health. They die very, very, very easily. So I'm gonna put my cultists all the ways back here. My camera's kind of glitching out right now. See, if I go out too far, it just like stops showing the people or the health bars. I don't know why that is. You might notice that a couple of times. Post-recording Grim, my editor figured out a solution to this. Go to the NVIDIA app, select Total War Warhammer 3, turn on smooth motion, and no more flickers. Thank you, Delta. I love you. And so with all of our cultists right here, I've also got this War Shrine cultist, which is absolutely amazing because he's going to increase our Winds of Magic even further. Although honestly, we're not going to need it very much because if we go to our mega cultists, they have these rituals. So the rituals themselves take 55 seconds to go up each stage. So they take a really long time to actually do anything, but they're all map wide and they do something usually pretty massive. So for example, this one basically removes all spell resistance from all the enemies on the map. It removes their ability to be demonic, which means the demons can break, and it makes all enemy units unable to use abilities. That sounds pretty good, right? Well, it also drops the speed of all of our units by 40% and our leadership by 10 while it's prepping. So we just need to survive until these rituals actually happen. But there's also another ritual, and it is absurd. There's a lot of text, but the TLDR is that my unit is going to damage themselves to give every single friendly unit on the field power recharge rate and reserves per second. I will show you what that means shortly. It's also going to increase our spell mastery and basically double the effectiveness of all of our spells. So I'll start the battle and then we will cast the ritual right away. It's got a 10-second beginning cast time, so it still has like 55 or 110 more seconds to go. Also, now that they're casting, these guys can't move, so they are completely immobile for the next 540 seconds. So basically the rest of the battle. And we are just waiting for these stages to tick down. So the first one is just going to drop the leadership of all of our guys by a pretty sizable amount. Also, basically nobody has a lot of movement speed anymore, unfortunately. Kairos is just dead in the water over here. But in just a second, we're going to be moving from preparing the ritual to actually having the first stage. And there we go. So the first stage is going to give all of my units, all of my cultists specifically on the unit. So if they have this tag, they're getting it, plus mastery, recharge rate, and reserves per second. If I hover over my Winds of Magic bar, you get to see this. My magic recharge rate is unreal, and I am gaining reserve faster than I can physically spend it now because my whole army has gained this ability. So they're gonna keep shooting me. Honestly, I don't really care. Let's just start casting every spell I have. Overcast, it doesn't really matter. Throw down a pendulum, and they can also start dealing damage to him. It doesn't matter. I've got regrowth in my bar. I can use a bolt of change now because it has pretty much no cooldown. And now I am going to just cast as many spells as I can physically cast because my oh my god, the recharge rate is going up even faster now. Now it's 50% per unit. Kairos is about to completely dumpster this entire army with the sheer number of spells that we have to cast. The unfortunate reality, though, is that we do need more spellcasters because I can't use all the mana I have. Oh, I also forgot that every time I cast a spell, it reduces the cooldowns of all my spells by 10 seconds just because Kairos has that ability. So I could just keep mashing out spells and it's gonna make all the other spells cast even faster. So they haven't even gotten to me yet and their front line is devastated. I also forgot, I'm just gonna quickly pause. I forgot that Kairos has every single one of these. So it's like the tiny buffs that apply whenever you're spell casting. He's got all of them and oh my god, he's got so many buffs right now. His spell intensity is up to 200%. So we're basically just casting at full throttle every single time. I also forgot that, you know, I do have another spellcaster here. So we're just gonna have him start casting spells because why not? And I think I have done just about everything I can. Their army is in tatters from just the sheer number of spells I've cast. I am kind of surprised that I've been able to spend all of my Winds of Magic. I mean, this is just so much Winds of Magic. My power reserve is still maxed, so it hasn't actually gone down a single point this entire time, and everyone is dead. Kairos got 1,600 kills because he just kept casting. Oh my god. And he doesn't even have his 6th spell slot yet. Oh, and there's another sad little lizardman army that I am going to do the exact same thing to. So I just spent the last 7 minutes casting spells. They could not even make it to my army. Kairos has done 14,000 gold damage and 164,000 damage and 2,151 kills. And to be honest, I completely forgot about his other spells too. I feel like I should make this at least a little more fair, and I'm just gonna declare war on these random beastmen sitting next to Axolotl, and then attack the city directly and pull them in as reinforcements. Decisive defeat? I don't think so. I did also forget to mention that you can only do one of the rituals at a time, so you can see the moment I do the one, it is going to lock the other for, 550 seconds. So by getting a second group of these guys, we are going to be able to drop the spell resistance of everyone to instantly 0. And there we go, the first reinforcements. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Oh, how much damage is this gonna do? A pretty considerable amount, yes. Oh my god, the units are getting stuck on each other. It's a dream come true. And the beastmen are already starting to rout off the map because they've already entered and everything is instantly gone. Okay, I am genuinely running into the problem though, where I'm running out of Winds of Magic because even with all of this, I still can't generate Winds of Magic fast enough. I'd like to think that Slon down there is just looking around and thinking, what is going on? Why is the KFC mascot flying around and casting Thunderbolt 100,000 times? And it's official, I am out of magic. Or at the very least, I no longer have all of those insane buffs. I still have, give or take 200 Winds of Magic left though. I like that Tzeentch has army abilities, which you charge by casting spells, but because the bar doesn't show exactly how much mana I've spent, I will never see the end of this bar, and I can just use the army abilities forever. Simply because I spent like 1,000 mana. I keep saying mana. Winds of Magic. And there we go. That is army losses. I still have to kill this one Beastman Lord for some reason. He's not giving up. I'm honestly kind of proud of him considering this is a Lizardman settlement and he wasn't even allies with the Lizardman. I almost ran out of mana. I mean, I say that I still have like 144 left in the tank, but it's kind of close. Sorta. Now Kairos is basically just beating this guy into a wall, and I don't think he's gonna get out of that wall. Kairos isn't exactly an impressive melee character, but he doesn't really need to be. A rather tame 3,105 kills, Kairos. Could have done better, honestly. I mean, you left like 2 Lizardmen alive, and as if it couldn't get stupid enough, now we have the Blue Scribes. These little guys have the benefit of getting a ton of Winds of Magic cost reduction for all their spells, but every time they cast a spell, it re-randomizes all of them. But one of the other things I'm trying to get towards is at the very top of our Chaos Warrior tree, we have these 2 units. The Warp Brothers. Honestly, it makes me think of the Mario Bros, but they are very strong, and I do want to be able to recruit them, but we do need to get to a level 5 settlement first. In the meantime, I get to do one of my favorite strategies, which is issue a trespassing warning to an army that can't physically leave. Like, I have blocked them from using the thing over here, so they can't even get off my island, allowing me to instantly break the non-aggression pact and kill them. That I signed like 2 turns ago to steal money from them. Okay, I just saw this. I don't know how this happened. I thought this was Grom the Paunch for a second, but it's just some wannabe goblin who called himself Grom instead. And Teclis is getting his cheeks clapped by him. All right, I've also got my first fight with the Blue Scribes over here, which is pretty nice. And I also recruited some more Broken Wheel cultists here, so they should be about to use their ritual, and then we can start using the Blue Scribes. So they don't really have any of their other spells. They just have the Tzeentch ones right now. I like how they're trying to use mortars to hit them. And actually, that almost landed. Okay, and then the Blue Scribes almost immediately die because they have so many guns. I should probably be a little more careful. All right, so I'm also seeing the problem with these guys, which is that if I don't have healing, they will kill themselves on this ritual. They're actually dying very quickly, and I've got to end this fight before they just obliterate themselves completely. Okay, there we go. The Blue Scribes aren't very strong when they don't have all of their other spells because they can't recast. They can't just like infinitely cast stuff. But it should get a lot better as soon as they get some of their crazy buffs. Also, some of these mutant mobs are so incredibly bad. I can't see the buffs right here, but if I go into the thing, yeah, this one just has minus melee attack, minus melee attack, minus melee defense, and they just instantly rampage. They're not that good. So now we can give them the Lore of Life, which is is going to be really good. And I will go with the Lore of Beasts. Each lore we get reduces the spell cost, although honestly, I don't think the spell cost is going to matter with how much Winds of Magic we have. You know, I didn't even realize. I'm sorry, elves. I didn't mean to trespass on your land, but I think I've got a solution. And that solution is stealing your settlement and giving it to myself. Also, I'm declaring war. Oh, Death Singer, Frenzy, Regeneration, and Death Blow. Yeah, I think I will use that. So the Skaven are pretty strong. I don't really want to declare war on them. So I am just going to force a rebellion in the province next to me. And as soon as the Lizardmen take over the city, then I'm just going to kill the Lizardmen. And they have no idea I'm doing it. I'm sorry, what? Okay, somehow they actually killed the rebellion with the garrison. I have no idea how they did that. So I'm going to have to go with plan B, which is doing it a second time. The cooldown is like almost nothing, so I am curious as to how many times I can get away with this before they start to notice. Oh, no, Grom is dead. Well, I mean, one of the Groms is dead. The real Grom is still safe over here. He's chilling. All right, Grom, good job taking Teclis's capital. Good job taking it for me. Yoink. Thank you very much. I think the funniest part of using that ability to me is that it doesn't have a negative diplomatic relations penalty. So it's just like the orcs didn't even notice I took the settlement. I'm also just going to do myself the favor of declaring war on the Skaven. I was going to try and ally them, but honestly, I don't really care anymore. I also finally got Kairos' last spell slot, and I filled it with something I thought made a lot of sense, which is the Dwellers Below. And I also got Net of Amentok. So if I get over here, I should be able to do some pretty disgusting things. Oh boy, all these scary storm vermin. It's a good thing they can't move while I cast Dwellers Below and instantly kill every single one of them. And Kairos has already racked up over 300 kills just from that alone. And that's not even getting into me just using Wind Blast to obliterate everything too. I also finally got the Storm of Fire, so now I can use that, I can use this, and the amount of spell casting that I could do is just utterly ridiculous at this point. All right, and there's the settlement destroyed. I'm also going to quickly join all of Verzag's wars, which might not seem like the best idea, but I think that is going to help us out. I just want him to like me because I am literally sitting here and using transfer settlement over and over and over again to just steal his settlements from under him. I never realized how insane the Tzeentch economy is, because right now we are making from my main area about $7,300, and it's just from the Winds of Magic manipulation where as long as it's massively tempestuous, I make so much money. So of course I'm just siphoning away magic from all of the provinces I don't care about, like the orc provinces, and then just giving it back to my main ones to make money. Okay, this is the last fight I'll show against the Skaven, because this one is against 3 armies, and I am in the field, so I'm not sieging. Kairos is pretty kitted out with a lot of his good stuff. I still don't have his staff, but honestly, I don't think I care that much about it. So the best I could, oh my goodness, they're clumping up in a big ball. This isn't gonna be difficult, will it? The fact that the Skaven army gets to enter the field, they're trying to leave, you could see. Yeah, honestly, I can't even blame him. Especially when I am about to Net of Amentok. I think this is like almost 1,000 units. And then hit them with the most disgusting Dwellers Below I have ever seen. Oh, yeah, there we go. 4,400 kills this time. I've finally gotten around to having 2 of the Broken Milk Cultists, so now I can cast both rituals at the same time, but when you combine the debuffs, it drops the leadership of all of my units massively, and this is what our speed looks like for the first 50 seconds of the battle. Dodging? Nah, we're just gonna keep going straight. And then as soon as that's over, it is immediate chaos where I get 1 billion mana and they lose all of their magic resistance. I totally forgot I could also get summons from these guys. And now I can summon skeletons or zombies. Although the game is kind of bugging out, and for some reason, it's not letting me summon units inside the castle. I don't know if that's a new mechanic or if my game is just irrevocably bugged from all the mods I've installed. If it wasn't bugged, I would currently be summoning Skaven against the Skaven. Oh, there we go. Now it's unglitched. I am very confused as to how exactly this is working. All right, it's taken a lot of cult stuff, but we finally have 1,200 corruption. It's pretty okay, but if we manage to become Ascendant, it will become insanely good since it doubles all those buffs. And 50% more barrier hit points is a little busted. I love being Tzeentch. I don't really want to fight these Bretonnians right now, so it's really lucky of me that one of them slipped slipped and accidentally signed a peace treaty with me instantly, all according to plan. The best part is the cooldown is only 2 turns, and Bretonnia is an honorable faction, right? Yes, Albric is honorable, so he's not gonna break the peace deal for the next 10 turns. I have locked him out with honor. And Skrulk has declared war on me, so I'm just going to also changing of the ways and enforce peace. God, Tzeentch is so much fun. And now that I have the Warp Brothers, we should be able to see what they do as well. Well, I think I can confidently say they look pretty badass, and I think they're holding guns. Yeah, all of them are holding guns. They're like 40k Tzeentch Marines. I was a little worried at first because they have reinforcements coming right behind me, and then I realized, oh, that poor lizardman. He's going to walk on the field and immediately be shot by 48 large men with guns. Oh my god, wow, they actually just use, like, shotguns. Okay, and he's instantly dead. My Tzeentch Marines wielding shotguns are pretty strong, actually. So how do these guys do against infantry with their shotguns? The skinks throw javelins, and I just shoot them and oh my god. Yeah, they're pretty strong. I've also opted to go with Final Transmutation on Kairos now, and it is so insane. I don't know why I didn't do it to begin with. Jesus, the shotguns are just shredding the Bastiladon as well. In Melee, these guys are definitely not pushovers. They don't have the greatest stats, but they're still doing pretty decent, and not even a single loss from the Warp Brothers. Some of the cultists died to, I think, my spell casting, but, you know, hey, that's what they're there for. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Empire is getting me a little paranoid. They're almost strength rank 1. Them and the Wood Elves have kind of taken... How did that happen? Them and the Wood Elves are allied. I think these people are all the top strength rank. And considering they are pretty much on the other side of the map, are not affecting me in any way, I've got to stop this by going to the changing of the ways, selecting Karl Franz to break his alliance with the Wood Elves, and boom, there goes their alliance. And then, you know what, just for good measure, I'm also gonna have them declare war on the Wood Elves. Bada boom, there's the war. Now the fun part is gonna see who gets dragged into the war, because there are allies on both sides of this conflict. I think Durthu's gonna get dragged in. Oh, this is gonna be beautiful. And it's a good thing that I can also do reveal shred. It costs 0. No. So I'm just going to reveal the entire world right now because, you know, why not? It literally costs nothing. I can do it anyway. Oh, there's Wolfric. Yeah, let's see what he's doing now. He's just chilling up there. Archaon, how's that guy doing? He's looked better. And there we... One more second. And there we go. I have now revealed successfully literally every single faction in the entire game in the top right. Let's just spam enter. So now I can very clearly see the entire world. If you're wondering why this is possible, it's because I have gotten so many cost reductions for using the changing of the ways that I can just cast Reveal Shroud for free. And since Reveal Shroud will reveal new factions, I can just cascade that into finding the entire map, and now I see everything. I just needed to build one of these preparations buildings for minus 80% cost, and then Kairos has minus 9, and then there's a couple more minuses. It's a little silly. So, let's start screwing with people. I also got our final unholy manifestation. I'm just gonna clap that onto Kairos. So for the next 3 turns, he won't be able to move. And then immediately afterward, he will gain some insane bonuses and basically just instantly spawn rebellions when he walks into a province. It genuinely feels like I am playing a different game entirely when I'm playing as Tzeentch. I did not realize how insane this gets. Other people are playing checkers and I'm just playing with my model train set. Oh, Joe! My son! He can become a demon lord now. I wasn't sure if some of the non-Demons of Chaos factions had this, but boom. So Kugath is all the ways over here, and we do want to kill him, but it's gonna be a little difficult to actually do so. So we are gonna have to use a little bit of trickery to basically teleport on top of him by establishing a cult, immediately teleporting to it, and then running in and killing him. And that is perfect timing that we are the Ascended faction right now, so we are gonna get access to all of our unholy manifestations, and they are insanely strong. Kairos' new army is going to consist pretty much exclusively of Warp Warp Brothers and Lords of Change. So here's Kugath just chilling here, taking a little bit of a nap, that beautiful fellow. So we can come over here and just establish a Zeech cult under their Nurgle cult, and then immediately go to do a teleportation spell to summon Tyros to this location next turn. Then I can also do my powered up magic flare for 40% more barrier hit points, more ammo, and more range, which will also apply to our Warp Brothers. And now Kairos is going to be completely juiced. So now I just have to pass the turn, and boom, we are just going to instantly teleport right on top of them. Wait, what? What happened to Kugath? Okay, well, Kugath is being a huge dick and running away over there, so I'm gonna be a huger dick and steal his capital. Because for some reason, this is counted as his capital, and the main city isn't, so I'm just gonna yoink. Thank you for the free level 5 settlement. Also, I'm gonna kill you. I've set up all of our essentially Space Marines right here, and we could just start the battle, immediately drop all of our rituals, and now it's time for our Lord of Change goon squad to do what it has to do. Oh, they're already coming to the choke point, which is perfect. All right, net of Amontok, so they can't move now. Yep, those plague drones are also totally stuck, and now we could just open fire on everything. Throw in a good measure final transmutation, because, you know, why not? All of my Lords of Change also have their own sets of abilities. You know, I'm not sure this is enough AoE. It's only 2 of my most powerful spells with a final transmutation and an orbital bombardment on top of it. Oh, look, everything died. I'm so sorry, Nurglings. You are one of my favorite units in the game, but I gotta do this to you. Oh my god. Okay, that unit died in actually 2 seconds. Even these exalted plague bearers of Nurgle just die instantly to the power of the pistol. It's definitely a little hard to describe what exactly is going on, but needless to say, anything that is in here just kind of dies very fast. Net of Amontok, final transmutation, use all of my Lords of Change. I even summoned a new Lord of Change just so I could use more abilities. And then every single blue fire of Zeech at once. And that's gonna be army losses, although some of the Nurgle units are kind of taking their sweet time as it pertains to dying. Let me just speed that up real quick. And there we go. That entire fight was 2,000 Nurgle soldiers, and I took 0 losses. As soon as I saw the Warp Brothers mod, it made me think of how I know the Warhammer 40k Total War game, they've said it is in development, and I'm very excited for that. I don't know how they're gonna translate a lot of stuff over, but, you know, hopefully it's pretty good. Don't think Kugath's getting away, though, because he's right over here, and even if he retreats, it doesn't really matter. The illusion of choice, because I'm simply going to watch my game glitch out because it's beginning to get a little unstable, refill my movement, and then beat the crap out of Kugath. Sorry to do this to you, Kugath, but unfortunately, I gotta. Oh, okay, and he's dead. And with Kugath dead, we are good. We've taken most of Lostria, and every time one of these guys declares war on me, I'm just continuously using the changing of ways to force peace. And of course, before I end the video, I have a very important thing to do, which is screw with the Empire again by making them declare war on pretty much their only ally, the Ice Court. There you go, buddy. Good luck, Franz. Also, a reminder to check out the turn-based mobile game, Warhammer 40,000 Tacticus. You can use the link in the description or the code JULY HELLO for 50 Blackstones and 20 energy. Thanks for watching. See you.